answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Better see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.
We are the nation of domination.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have.
What is up? What is up, Eagles Nation? I am your host, BG31 in the building. How's everybody doing today? We have a very special guest today. We got Jay in the Bay, represent Bang Bang, not a gang in the building. How you doing today, my guy?
Faithful then, faithful now. What's good? It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. How's everyone doing out there today?
Look at him. He repping them towels. He got the towels out upside down.
Let me do it the right way. There we go. How you doing today, Birdgang?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great, man. Always a pleasure working with you, my guy. You know what I'm saying? We had to do it. We had to do it. You know, both teams, man, both teams right now is in this NFC championship game. How excited are you? You know, let everybody know how you felt about the whole season as a whole, man, because, you know, you guys had a lot of, you know, things happen where you might not thought earlier in the season that you guys would be in the situation that you're in now.
Hey, no doubt about it, man. First of all, thank you for letting me come on to the Birdgang platform, man. I appreciate it. It's been a hell of a season for both teams, and it's great that both teams now face off, and the winner, of course, will go to the Super Bowl. So also, huge shout out to everyone that's in the chat right now, especially if you're watching on Jay and the Bay channel. I see you. Appreciate all the comments in the show. But yeah, man, it's been a roller coaster type season. You know, we started off the year. Obviously, Trey Lance was started off the year as a starting quarterback. He got hurt. Jimmy G got into the game. What's good, SG Sports Talk? Jimmy G got into the game, he got in the season week 2 against against Seattle. He played a few games. He got hurt. Then Brock Purdy, the kid from nowhere, Mr. Irrelevant, comes in and completely revitalizes the squad. What's good, KD? And we've won 12 straight games. I don't know if Eagles fans know that, you know, fly Eagles fly, but we hitting on all cylinders right now. I mean, we're playing at the top of our level. I think we're peaking at the right moment, and I know the Eagles are playing real good too, especially off of that playoff win where they beat the brakes off them good old New York Giants. But Hey, we're feeling good too around here with the addition. I think the greatest trade, in-season trade in 49ers history, arguably NFL history, with us acquiring CMC from the good old Carolina Panthers. I
That
thank
was
you,
amazing.
Carolina Panthers, because I don't think we would be here where, without CMC, without
Right.
Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy helps elevates this offense. And of course, I'm sure you guys heard, I mean, y'all got a pretty good defense. We got a pretty good defense, but this defense is legit, one of the best in the NFL, if not the best. I'm sure Eagles fans will say otherwise, but
Oh yeah.
but
Yeah, yeah.
uh but
What
but
we
but
do over
all
here.
three levels, all three levels of the squad is playing, at the best time right now, and coaching is impeccable as well. Defensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, special teams coach. So we're excited to be in the NFC Championship game, but we know, we have unfinished business. That's for sure. So, hey, this is just another step to get to the ultimate goal, and that's to get to, win number 6 in our franchise history.
Yeah, man. You guys, man, great season. Great season. I never, like I said, I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think you guys were going to actually make it. Like you said, 12 in a row. I felt that. I felt that when I was at 6 in a row. I'm like, what's going on here? This is like, this Mr. Irrelevant is looking very irrelevant nowadays. You know what I'm saying? He's doing a great job out there. He's a nice young buck. Every game, I was like, is he going to finally hit that, that rookie slash, bright lights wall, because we seen it earlier when we played the Cowboys, which thank you guys for eliminate those guys. I was so happy to finally get those guys out of here. Tired of hearing their mouth all year. And now, I don't have to hear it no more. But, I was like, that's really the first real defense you guys went against, that, I'm not saying that, every team got a good defense, but, that was an upper echelon defense you guys went against. I thought maybe you think the stage is too bright or something, like he couldn't handle it or whatnot. But guess what, man? He went out there and did his thing again. You guys came out with the W, and it's looking pretty bright for you guys in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, before we get into this matchup, I want to ask you the question: is this your quarterback of the future?
Whew, man, I think time will tell. A great man once said, you never have a second chance to make a first impression. And boy, has he impressed the 49ers. I mean, you look at the history of Mr. Irrelevant players, a lot of them don't even make the roster. Let's be real. A lot of them are out of the NFL in a few years. So, for Brock Purdy to come in, not only make the roster over, we're getting our quarterback, he's a veteran guy. We signed him to a 1-year deal. I believe it was like $1 million guarantee. So we assumed, hey, he's going to make the roster. And Brock Purdy beat him out in training camp. So clearly he had a great impression upon Kyle Shanahan. And, him playing 4 years at Iowa State, setting all types of records in college. He was a 4-year starter. Now, normally, if let's say you're the best of the best, you're not playing all 4 years, right? If you're the best of the best in college basketball, you're not playing all 4 years. You're leaving after 1 year, maybe 2 years. But I think the time that he played in college has helped Brock Purdy tremendously. And he doesn't seem, the moment isn't too big for Brock Purdy. Just like you were hinting at that rookie wall that Brock Purdy would hit, it doesn't seem like the moment is too big. It doesn't matter if he has to step into his throw with the defensive player getting ready to hit him. He'll step into his throw. He'll stand in the pocket, and also if the rush is after him, he can scamper out for a few yards. He's not Jalen Hurts, but he can do some Jalen Hurts things. He can get away from the defense, and that allows his wide receivers to have more time to get open and things like that. So Brock Purdy, that's another element that he adds to this offense that Jimmy couldn't really do. Jimmy could do a little bit, but I think Brock Purdy takes that up to another level. But to specifically answer your question, will Brock Purdy be the quarterback next year? Like, I just think time will tell. I don't think there's no way we're going to trade Trey Lance this offseason. I think that's just ridiculous. The amount of resources that's already been added to Trey Lance, I just don't think there's no way. I think he's going to get an opportunity to at least compete for the starting job. If Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl, I mean, I still think Trey Lance will still be on the team, but I think it will be Brock Purdy's team, and Trey would have to do a whole hell of a lot to win it. But hey, there was a record in the NFL this year. I think it was like 68 different starting quarterbacks in the NFL this year. So you're gonna need more than one quarterback. So
Right.
I think
about that.
Yeah. So BP, Trey Lance, and we bring in another veteran guy. I think that would be That's what you need. You need at least 3 quarterbacks, 2 on the active roster, 1 on the practice squad. So I think Trey Lance will definitely be here, but I think it's Brock Purdy's job to lose. To answer your question, it's Brock Purdy's job to lose right now.
Nice, nice. We got a question for both of us. It says, which team has more pressure to win? We can start with that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna answer it first.
Yeah.
I feel like the season with the Eagles have had, if you guys know my content, you know how deep of an Eagles fan I am. You know how I really analyze this team, and I told everybody in the preseason it was a wrap. It was a wrap. We got too much talent. We got too much of everything that we need. Jalen Hurts' second year in the same system. We got too much of everything. I said that the Eagles will win a Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts will be MVP. You see that Jalen is in that conversation. If he doesn't miss those 2 games, we wouldn't even be talking about it no more. But so with those 2 games missed, it's kind of like still hit or miss. And the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I watched all the games this season. There was not one game where I was sitting there like, I don't think we can win this football game. Like, I just feel like our roster is the deepest roster. Like you said, you guys are number 1 defense. I think it's by 15 yards or something like that. But we're number 2. You know what I'm saying? I think where the biggest thing kind of switches is where you look at our offense is so explosive. You know what I'm saying? You guys got an explosive offense too, but we are the number 1 offense in the NFL right now. We're bringing that heat on the offensive side of football. And when Jalen Hurts is playing at 100%, it's really hard to stop. Because he's not just a quarterback that you got to worry about passing the football. You got to worry about this man running the football. You got to worry about him just pulling linebackers the wrong way while our other running backs and skill position players are out there doing their thing. So it's definitely going to be a tough game. But I would say that, we haven't really felt pressure all year. I think we had like a month-long bye when Jalen went out. We had those 2 games with Gardner Minshew that looked kind of trash, which we also could have won. I feel like if Jalen Hurts plays the game, then we played the Giants, third streamers, what I'm saying? So it wasn't really a real football game. So, I think the pressure's all on San Francisco because they're the team that wasn't expected really to be here most of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've seen us go 13-0 already. You've seen us, 14-1. Like, we've been a dominating football team, whether the outside world or, the media want to give us our props like they should, and all that disrespect that they're doing by not naming our players into Pro Bowls, not giving our players, defensive players of the year, like things like that. It's still nipping away at this team and still put a bigger chip on their shoulder to make sure they go seal the deal this year. So I would say, the Niners got the most pressure.
Okay. All right. I gotta say, hot diggity dog. I appreciate KD in the comments section leaving a $5 super sticker. I appreciate that. Also, what's good to Livy's World? Jesus, the Remilia Sports Report. Appreciate that question. I think that also, I think there's a few more people. G-Rod, appreciate you for tuning in. 49er Minded. What's good, everyone? But to answer the question, I think there's probably a little bit more pressure you could say on the Niners because of Kyle Shanahan, and he's already been to 2 NFC championship games. He's got the experience. I mean, hell, he went to the Super Bowl with the Falcons. He's also went to Super Bowl with us, of course. So I think we definitely have more experience. I think Nick Sirianni, this is his 2nd year as head coach, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think if you look at it from that point of view, the 49ers, I think they have higher expectations. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about the Eagles, and if Jalen Hurts was actually the franchise quarterback, obviously he had his struggles last year, but I mean, he could be comeback player of the year this year. He's obviously up for MVP, so he's had a fantastic season, and but I would say, the Eagles made a lot of moves in season. They brought over Ndamukong Suh. They traded for a lot of guys. They got CJ Gardner-Johnson. So they picked up some guys. They made some moves in free agency that would tell you that, hey, they're going all in for the Super Bowl. So I would say, but look at it like this, though. The Eagles are at home. They are favored, even though it's less than 3 points, but they are favored. They are at home. So clearly people think that, hey, the Eagles have an advantage and the Eagles should win. So I think there's pressure on both sides. Obviously, both teams want to win in advance, of course. But, I just think the pressure is kind of equal to me. Eagles are at home, but the 49ers have the more experienced coaching staff. They got a head coach who's been to the NFC Championship game multiple times and a Super Bowl twice. So, I think pressure is going to be on both sides.
That was the second part of that question. Which coach has the most pressure. Young Phillies coaches, all these guys are second years. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I
Yeah.
love that about them, because it's like you see what they've done in their second year, and these guys haven't like reached their full potential. It takes coaches a while to get adapted to coaching in this NFL. So, which coaching staff has more pressure, the young Philly coaches or Cal Shanahan, who has already lost,
Yeah.
NFC Championship game last year? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He's a great coach, but you don't want to get to the point where you get deep into the playoffs and you keep losing. You know what I'm saying?
But
But
also we got a third string quarterback too. I mean, a rookie. So obviously Shanahan has pressure. I don't think there's much pressure on Purdy, but some could say, hey, if Shanahan loses this game, well, what did you expect? He's got a rookie quarterback, but the rookie quarterback has exceeded all the expectations. He's played wonderfully. Like he's added to this offense. He's elevated this offense. So in that aspect, if we lose this game, a lot of people are going to blame Shanahan, which, hey, he's the head man, that the buck stops there. But I think that I would say, as far as coaching staff, the pressure is definitely more on the Niners. We do have more experience. And Sirianni, before he was with the Eagles, the head coach. Which staff was he on?
he was on the Colts.
The Colts. Okay, was he like a quarterback coach or offensive somewhere in that?
He was the offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's doing a fantastic job. He's up for head coach of the year as well as with Shanahan too. So it's gonna be interesting to see who wins that. And I got to say, hot diggity dog. Appreciate that $2 super sticker. Luke Luna, he says, bang, bang, you know what it is. What's good? Hope you're doing well, Luke Luna. Good to see you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would say I would have to do that again and go with the Niners. You know what I'm saying?
Niners, yeah.
He is
Even though the Eagles at home, man, y'all got that home crowd.
he's another experienced coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anybody's supposed to win this battle, it's supposed to be the experienced coach.
Right.
Regardless on teams. If you got two good teams, the coach with the most experience should be able to outcoach some young coaches over there that's just making their first way. They're getting their first taste of playoff football. Like, he should be able to think of a game plan well enough to be able to stop these guys no matter what the talent level is. In terms of Nick Sirianni, these guys, man, Nick and these boys done a phenomenal job, and I think they take that one game at a time mentality, and it seems like they're going to do the same thing this week. They're taking that one game at a time, and if you really focus down on that one game, like they say, they should do a good job, like when you got, to me, the more talented roster, like they're both really extremely talented, but I just feel like we're a little deeper in a little couple of areas, and we're gonna get into that.
What areas? What areas do you think the Eagles are deep?
Defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle
line in general. That defensive line's monsters, and it's like backups are monsters. The backups are monsters. We're like 7 or 8 deep, and not very many teams have that. That's kind of crazy. And even
I would say we're deep at the defensive line as well. I would say you guys have more notable names like Ndamukong Suh, Fletcher Cox. We got Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw. We got some other guys Kevin Givens. Like they don't have the big name, but I think they still bring a pretty good level of production. I would say, just from my perspective, the Eagles, they do have the better quarterback. I think wide receivers, y'all probably got
we're gonna break them down. We're gonna break them down right now. I was trying to get your question now. We're gonna get into it for sure. We're gonna get into it. We can go ahead and start with that. Let's start with the quarterback position.
Okay.
That we definitely have, the best quarterback. Out of two quarterbacks, it's only logical. Jalen Hurts, MVP candidate, Pro Bowler, should have been All Pro. First team All Pro, I think personally, but he's a great guy doing a lot of great things. He hasn't even reached his potential. And then you got, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. No one thought he's gonna win 12 straight games. Like, he's doing what he has to do to win football games. He's not turning over the ball. Playing Dallas was a great example of a good quarterback doing, playing within the system. You know what I'm saying? Like, he played him within the system. His stats were phenomenal, like, eye-popping stats or nothing like that. But you're seeing a Dak Prescott who can't win in the playoffs, who chokes. He's been choking the whole end of the season, throwing 2 picks a game, for 6 out of the last 7 games. And you see the difference in quarterback play, who's costed, one costed their team the victory with the, missed executions, and the other one, won the football game. So, obviously, Jalen Hurts, I think, is a better quarterback. I'm pretty sure, like you said, you think he is too. But it's not to say that, if Purdy continues this run, knock on wood, because I hope this is the last game for him this season. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? I'm hoping this is it for Purdy. You know,
Queasy the Great. What you talking about, man? The Queasy the Great says the Eagles are better at everything except running back and left tackle. What? Have you not heard of Fred Warner,
man,
Dre
we gonna get it.
Greenlaw,
We
and
gonna get
James?
into
Come on,
that.
man.
I'm feeling with you, Quezzy. I'm with you. We gonna
Come
break it
on,
down.
man.
I'm gonna educate them on our team. You know what I'm saying? I definitely gonna educate them on our team. So we can go ahead and get past, the rookie. But like I said,
Right.
it's a bright future. Like, and to answer that question that I asked you earlier, it was like I definitely think, if him making it this far, definitely puts him in that quarterback situation for next year, where it's like you say you can't get rid of Lance because of all the allocations or things you put out for him. But you
Yeah.
got to look at Carson Wentz. We gave a lot for Carson Wentz, and we got shut him packing. The
Yeah.
coach gave a lot for Carson Wentz, shut him packing. So did Washington. So it's like if you got to make that move to better your roster, Purdy with an off season behind him, getting better, working with quarterback coaches, he can be a lot better, moving forward. And like you said, I think he showed your team something that neither one of the other two quarterbacks showed, and that was consistency at that quarterback position. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't too big for the moment. He stayed in there. He
Yeah.
wasn't trying to overdo anything. He just lets the game come to him. And I don't think the same. Like I never believed in him just because he came from the same school Carson Wentz for one. Carson kind of messed up that whole school's name and getting the quarterback out of there. And Jimmy G, we know what he is. He's a game manager, and he does it at a high level. But at the end of the day, he's been getting hurt at the end of his career, and all this not playing football is definitely not going to help him out moving forward.
Hey, I would say in regards to the Carson Wentz, Trey Lance, like I think Carson Wentz he's played more games than Trey Lance. I mean, Trey Lance, since he's been drafted, as far as starts, I think he only has like 3 starts in the NFL. So I think the book is not out on him yet. I think he still can improve and get better. He just got to stay healthy. But with Brock Purdy playing so well, I don't know if Trey Lance will have that opportunity here. But I just think I don't think you trade for pennies on the dollar. Like if you buy a house that's 800,000 and you put it up for appraisal, now it's only worth 250,000. I don't think you sell it at a loss. I think you keep it and you just hope it gets better. I mean, he's only in. I think Trey Lance is in. It'll be his 3rd year next year, so we still have him under contract for 2 more years. I just don't think you trade him unless you get a 1st-round pick. Which how could you fetch a 1st-round pick for Trey? He hasn't proven he can be healthy. He hasn't proven he can be a franchise quarterback at this time. So I just think you keep him, you help him get better. You're going to need more than one quarterback. We've seen that. So hey, maybe he can come in if BP gets hurt or vice versa. So I just think there's no way you let Trey go unless someone gives you what you gave up to get him, which probably not going to happen.
Yeah, you don't get him. You can get something for him. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, like that is the whole thing. Like if he can stay healthy, a
That's the
different
thing.
team might be able to do something different with him. He hasn't played that much poor football to be like, I don't care if he's hurt or not. This guy can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't actually say that Lance can't be an NFL quarterback. You just can't say that he's done anything worth, anything right now just because of the injuries or whatnot.
Yeah.
Let's go to this running back position. I got Booby Miles Sanders. First year, 1,300 yards rushing, big double-digit touchdown, Pro Bowler starter.
Don't waste your breath, man. Don't waste your breath.
Miles
Come on, man.
Sanders.
Come on, man.
You know who's another
CMC.
guy?
Come on, man. So
Another guy.
you saying you take Miles Sanders over CMC?
Yes.
Mm.
You know why? Listen to this. Listen, I see you laughing over there. I see you laughing. Laughing. Hey, even
Tell me why. Tell me why.
CMC, but I'm gonna tell you why.
Tell me why.
Because as much as we want to hate on Miles Sanders for being injured, he's still like one of the only backs with 5.5 yards per carry his whole career. Like a lot of the argument was we haven't given him the ball enough, to make him become that elite running back that's out there. Now CMC came in prestigious, what I'm saying? You already knew that he was going to be great. And he played great with the Panthers before he started getting injured. Now, his biggest thing is, availability over the last, 3 years now. Like he hasn't played very much football, so it's hard for me to put him back. I had him in that elite category, but it's hard for me. This year is making me want to put him back there because he's definitely balled out with the Niners this year. But at the moment, who had the better season this year? Does he have 1,300 yards? Does he have double-digit touchdowns? I don't think he does this year, and we're only talking about this year. So I'm gonna go with my boy Booby. Booby, it's his contract year, and he's showing why the Eagles need to go ahead and pay this man and keep him on this football team, whether it's a franchise tag and draft a running back or you keep him long term. So I'm gonna go. I know it's shockingly, and I know you guys don't like it. This is not no cap or nothing. It's about this year who's the better running back. And I have to go with Big Miles.
I think so. CMC this year, he's got 1,100 yards rushing, 8 touchdowns. He's averaging 4.7 yards per carry. But also in the receiving game, he's got 52 catches, 464 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So I don't know if Miles Sanders can touch that. But
He got some receiving yards this year too.
You got some good receivers. Okay. Hey, I respect it, but I would still take CMC. I just think he's better, but we'll find out. We'll find out on Sunday. So basically, Miles had 100 more yards rushing. Miles had 100 more yards rushing this year. He did have more touchdowns, more rushing touchdowns. But I'm trying to look up his receiving real quick. Let's see what he did in the receiving, because that's where CMC is really, he turns it up another notch in his receiving ability. So Miles Sanders, he only had 20 catches. So I mean, that's where CMC kind of, he raises his play up another level, and he's really a mismatch nightmare out the backfield. We line him up in the backfield, we line him up in the slot. But honestly, I'll be real. I haven't watched too much.
He does share the backfield with Scott. And for real, Gainwell's our receiving back. Gainwell just had 112 yards rushing last week, which is amazing.
And Hurts runs the ball too, so that kind of takes away some of his carries
too. Yeah. So I think Hurts had over 700 yards this year too. So on a normal team, some of those carries probably would have went to Miles Sanders, and he probably would have had more. But I get what you're saying, and like I said, I'm not hating. I cannot hate on no one on this football team. I don't even hate on Purdy. To be honest with you, like that dude's balling right now. You know what I'm saying? Is he balling at the level of Jalen? No, but he is balling. But so as a whole, the running back group, you still got CMC. Who else you got? Because you
got Elijah Mitchell. Mitchell, he's been banged up. Right? Yeah, he just came back. Mm-hmm. But he's pretty good as well. Let's see. That's pretty much the only running backs we really use. We do have Jordan Mason, but we don't really use him that much. Those are pretty much our backs.
And now we're gonna go to the next category, receiver. We're gonna go to the receiving trio. We're gonna go AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert versus Deebo Samuels, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle. Who you got and why?
I would say
I like that.
Hey, what is that image on there? What is that image up there? What is that?
I like that image right there, though. Hey, Deebo's fifth, and really, this list is kind of messed up because I don't know how you don't have Justin Jefferson up there. Who's the best receiver?
Yeah, so that's How does he?
I just like they could do an AJ Brown, Devontae, just like that. You know what I'm saying? Then they had Deebo on there, but you know what I'm saying? I like it.
So we can't even put stock into what Greg Jennings says if he doesn't have Justin Jefferson in the top 3. But there's no doubt, man. Y'all wide receivers are fantastic. Definitely one of the best tandems in the NFL. Goddard is a beast at tight end too. But I think for me, I'm taking my guys. I'm taking George Kittle, whose career has been revitalized since Brock Purdy has taken over the starting quarterback position. I think in George Kittle, his first 7 games of the season, he only had like 4 touchdowns, and he's doubled that in the back half of the season, in part to Brock Purdy. And which one of y'all great linebackers is going to guard George Kittle? That's what I want to see on Sunday. And Deebo Samuel, he doesn't have the stats this year that AJ Brown and Devontae Smith have, but I think he can put a few games together where he can still be an all-pro player. He's been banged up this season. Obviously, he's had to play under 3 different quarterbacks, so he hasn't been great. I'll say that. He was definitely much better last year, but we were also using him in a different capacity last year. He was basically our only weapon last year, and now you have other guys who are taking balls. Ayuk, CMC out the backfield, George Kittle. So also Jawan Jennings, who's a guy I think you guys will definitely see on Sunday. He's a big guy, but he doesn't get a lot of targets. But the targets he usually does get, he converts a lot of third downs. He had a big play last week that got us in the field goal range at the end of the first half. So, I think we got a lot of weapons. I'm willing to concede a draw if you want, but I know you're going to say the Eagles wide receivers are better. But I'll leave it at a draw because I think both teams could definitely. Honestly, I would take Kittle over Goddard. I think honestly,
What are you smoking?
I would take Kittle over Goddard. He's a more complete tight end,
Dallas
better
Goedert
blocker,
leads the league in yards after catch.
definitely faster. I think your 2 wide receivers, if we're talking about just catching the ball, route running, y'all got the edge. I think Ayuk is a great route runner. Debo's not there yet, but there's no doubt Kittle's the best tight end, no doubt.
Okay, after I let you say that, I'm gonna laugh for a second because everybody know that Dallas Goedert leads the league in yak yards. Everybody see the stiff arms he do every week.
He ain't gonna be doing that against the number 1 defense.
Complete tight end. I'm not even saying that Kittle. He was number 3 back when Zach Ertz. It was him, Zach Ertz, and Travis Kelce. Now Travis Kelce is still the best tight end in the league.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I think Goddard is right there. And if you want to talk about complete, Goddard's pushing towards taking that over because he is not only one of the best receiving tight ends out there, he is one of the best blocking tight ends out there. And Kittle is too. Kittle can put some blocks on. He's a big man. But I think the era of Kittle being number 2, he could be 3. I got my boy Goddard all day long, and he
we'll see. We'll see how much Goddard will have in the game. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're going up against the number 1 defense. We'll see.
And then you talk about our 2 receivers, man. Devontae Smith broke the receiving record for most receptions for the Eagles this year. It's amazing to see what this guy's been doing. He is not scared of competition being on the other side. He still wants to prove to the whole NFL that he is still number 1 legit receiver out there. I think he's doing a pretty damn good job at it. And A.J. Brown, another beast, that getting the opportunities he didn't have, playing in that run-first offense in Tennessee. You're starting to see this guy broke the receiving record for most yards by a receiver by any Philadelphia receiver ever. And, we had T.O. on our team. We had Deshaun Jackson on our team. We had, some good guys out there. And he just came in his first year and just totally destroyed all of that. So, I think these guys are one of the best duels in the league. If you want to, I know there's a couple of duels that everybody want to throw out there. You know what I'm saying? The damn Chase and Higgins, the Waddle and Hill. But I think these guys showed all year long that they're the most complete duel in the league. When one takes over, the other one's still there. You know what I'm saying? One can have 200, 150 yards, but the other one still got 100. One has, 10 catches. The other one got 5 or more yards. It's just the way they complement each other. You got your big physical baby T.O. type in AJ, and then you got your Marvin Harrison type and Devontae Smith just carving it out, making it very hard, for anybody to cover. And then you throw in the likes of a Dallas Goedert. You know what I'm saying? Like that's tough stuff. That's tough sledding for any defense. You know what I'm saying? And I was looking at your cornerback. I think that's one area that we might have to leverage in is our receiver versus your cornerback. We'll get into the little matchups here. But I got the Eagles, man. I got the Eagles. Those 3 guys are like some of the best in at their positions, and like the numbers show, and they've definitely been putting it up this year. I guess we go to offensive line.
Hey, it ain't really much discussion outside of the big silver back and Trent Williams. I think y'all pretty much got the edge at every position along the offensive line. I think our offensive line has gotten better. We got a bunch of young guys, especially on the interior of our offensive line, and then we got McGlinchey. So I think y'all got the edge, but I think we're better. But honestly, I think that's where the game's going to be won and lost, in the trenches.
It's always in the trenches.
Yeah. Yep.
It's always in the trenches.
So y'all got it on the offensive line. D-line, I think it's closer than what y'all
let me finish. Wait. Don't just jump the D-line like that. Let me finish. That was a nice little segue you just did there. I'm giving props. Moving on. Let's go. No. Okay. I want you to look at these beasts that we consider our offensive line.
Who is that?
Our monsters. Have you seen an offensive line where all 5 of them in the Pro Bowl, whether it's Pro Bowl starters, 3 starters, and 2 alternates, 2 all-pros, the beast. We got young talent. We got old talent. These guys are monsters. We're definitely the number 1 offensive line in the league, and we've been that way for years. So, of course, I'm going to go. I like your silverback over there. He's a good tackle out there. Arguably the best tackle in the game. He's been that way since he started playing. But, 1 does not equal 5, and we definitely got the advantage there. But let's go ahead. Yeah. You can segue into your defensive line.
Well, of course, it starts off with Nick Bosa, led the NFL in sacks with 18.5. Probably going to win. I think he's well deserving of Defensive Player of the Year. So I think it starts with him. We also have depth along our defensive line. Like I said, not big names. We don't have Ndamukong Suh type names, but Eric Armstead is very good in run stopping. He's also, I think he had a sack in last week's playoff game as well. Javon Kinlaw, he's solid. Opposite of him is Samsung Ebukam, who had a strip sack fumble last week, which definitely flipped the game. Actually, no, that wasn't last week. That was the week before against Seattle. But he's definitely a good edge rusher. One of our edge rushers actually got arrested this week. So Charles Omenhue. So I would be surprised if he plays, but that could be a spot left open for our rookie Drake Jackson, the defensive end we drafted out of USC. He could have an opportunity. Yeah, he could have an opportunity to play some snaps.
Yeah,
we got other depth. We got Kevin Givens. We got Kerry Hyder Jr. But obviously, if Bosa can have a big game, I think that'll bode well. But for our defensive line, I think the key is got to contain Hurts. That's the key. Can't let him get out and run. Definitely got to prevent that. But yeah, man, let's talk about your D line. Oh, y'all got a lot of headliners.
Let's go. Ooh, let's go. I was waiting for it. Ooh, I'm excited about it. Let's go. How do you want to start? Because I know you talk about your boy Bosa over there, and hey, don't get me wrong, that guy's absolute
start off with the middle.
But we got a guy named Hassan Reddick, who's an outside linebacker pass rusher again, and I'm pretty positive he got just as. He's close on the sacks, but he also got strip fumbles, fumble recoveries, and things like that to help add to his overall stats to me look a little bit better than your boy Bosa's. And yes, Bosa should be Defensive Player of the Year, but I think it's very disrespectful how they don't even mention the name of Hassan Reddick inside that Defensive Player of the Year.
Was he a Pro Bowler?
Yeah, he's a Pro Bowler, but they skipped him on the All-Pro. You know what I'm saying? They skipped him on the All-Pro. Like, what's up with that? Michael Parsons, he got better numbers than Parsons, my guy. And he's been doing it in the playoffs. This guy's been hungry. He's been every single game in, game out, putting that heat on the quarterback, doesn't matter what team we play. So I want to first say that. You're snubbing my boy on Defensive Player of the Year, and he definitely should be in that category. Let's move on. Josh Sweat. You know, did I even tell you, did you not notice that the Eagles, right? The Philadelphia Eagles. Look at that.
Damn.
4.
Hey, is that a typo? Is that a typo?
Not 2, but 4 players, double-digit sacks, 70 sacks on the season.
Wow.
Comparing us to the 84 or 85 Bears. We almost were 4 away from breaking their record. Man, we get after the quarterback. Sweat, Hargrave, who's another guy that got disrespected this year. No Pro Bowl, no All-Pro. Javon Hargrave led all defensive tackles and sacks this year. And he got no respect. You know he angry. He mad as hell right now. You got BG, the legend, the old school GOAT out there, showing that he finally getting into his double-digit sack self. And then you got my boy Reddick with 16 and a half sacks, man. It's amazing to see. These guys are definitely the best defensive line. And not only are you talking about those 4, right? Then you got to look at things like this. You got Limbaugh Joseph, Ndamukong Suh, 2 Pro Bowlers that are at the back end, but they're definitely good enough to give you enough big plays. So the first game they played, they came in and tied with a sack, had a sack apiece, shared a sack. These guys are still good enough veterans where, they might not be a down end, 3 down, defensive tackles like they were before, but with this deep defensive line, they don't got to do that. They just got to come in every couple of plays and do their job for that play, and they're definitely wildly veterans and big boys. You can never coach size. Ndamukong Suh, one of the biggest men to ever play defensive tackle in terms of strength. Limbaugh Joseph, over 330 pounds, big dude. That's since they've been on our team. Our run stuff and defense has been, on top. You know what I'm saying? We were starting to give up a little bit too much run. We got those boys in, with our first round pick, Jordan Davis, who's a beast too. Man, we got the defensive line hands down. And then Milton Williams, another guy who has 6.5 sacks and no one really talks about because he gets so lost in the shuffle. This guy's our second-year player that's balling out. So in terms of we got names and we got people that ain't made their name felt yet that still ball and play at a high level. So I'm gonna give it to them.
I would say that y'all definitely have names, but we go up against Aaron Donald, twice a year. against the Rams in the same division, and he usually doesn't have effective games against us. So I think Kyle Shanahan is going to have to be in his bag with his play calling to avoid that pass rush. Obviously, you got to run the ball. I mean, you guys are pretty good against the run, but you're not as good as the 49ers against the run. So that's definitely one way we can help avoid that pass rush. Screen passes, reverses, quick slants. BP has to get rid of the ball real quick. And I think that's the way we can avoid that pass rush. And I want to go out on a limb, and I want to ask the chat this as well. I don't think your Eagles going to have more than 3 sacks in the game. I know y'all got 70 on the season. Y'all ain't going to get more than 3 in the game.
Because you forgot what was the last thing we just talked about? We talked about offensive lines, right? And I'm pretty positive we only named one guy in your offensive line. So he can now block 7 guys.
He can block 5 people, right?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He can now block all these guys by himself.
Our offensive line, left guard Aaron Banks, center Jake Brendel, right guard Spencer Burfield, and right tackle Mike McGlinchey. I think they are pretty good starters, but we are facing one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. Hey, obviously there's going to be some plays where the Eagles win, and it's going to be some plays where the Niners line is going to win as well. So, I mean,
we had to tell the Giants last week when they, beat up on Minnesota. We ain't Dallas, okay? Right. Like, Dallas got a good defense, and that's why that was, like, really the best defense I've seen when I looked at your schedule that you probably win against all year. We got a way better defense than those cats over there. You know what I'm saying? Michael Parsons is one man, and even want to go Law, Law's pretty good over there. Diggs didn't play that great. And then you got, what's the other dude name? There was one more guy in defense, and who even cares about the Cowgirls? But every single last one of these bulls on this defensive line you got to worry about. They can all have, and once one gets one, it kind of like sets off a chain where it's like, okay, now everybody gets a boom, boom, boom.
No more than 3, Mrs. Birdgang. No more than 3. I said it.
That's cap. Wait. And I can't believe you said that. That's major cap. That's exactly what that is. That's exactly what that is.
I think which you can account for is BP's mobility in the pocket and his ability to escape the rush. I think that's something that you see it on tape.
Daniel Jones is more of a running quarterback than Mr. Purdy.
Daniel Jones is probably faster, no doubt, but I think the Niners offense is obviously better than the Giants. I mean, overall, I think the Niners offense is much better. But hey, y'all did a great job in beating down the Giants. Good, hey, good job. But the 49ers are a much better overall team. We said it before the show. You got 2 of the best NFC teams in the NFL playing. So we're gonna be much harder than the Giants. Believe that.
Let's go.
Be much harder.
This is where I think you get your first win. Linebackers. You get your first win here because you got some nice bulls over there at the line.
Yeah, so that's debatable. I think we win at running back, tight end, but linebackers.
Nah.
Exactly. Fred Warner, a hell of a game last week. He covered CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb ran a little streak route. Fred Warner pretended like he was going to blitz and then ran back in coverage. I know y'all saw it. I know y'all saw that play. He's going to do the same thing this week.
I was watching that game very closely, and the only thing I got out of that game is a Super Bowl time.
Don't forget about Dre Greenlaw as well. Now, Dre Greenlaw, he is a underrated linebacker. I think he was only like 2 votes away from second team All-Pro. So Dre Greenlaw is a beast. Now, Dre Greenlaw will hit you after the whistle has been blown, and he might get a penalty, but he's definitely one of the enforcers on this team. So I think there's not even a debate. Linebackers, the Niners got.
TJ probably has the most. I think he led the NFL in tackles this year. And TJ's playing lights out this year. TJ Edwards, and I'm not. And Eagle fans know me since last year. I'm not the hugest TJ Edwards fans. And every time I say I'm not the hugest, he just goes out there and like, Birdgang, check me out. Birdgang, check me out, because he does it. He makes the plays when he needs to be made. He's a very consistent linebacker. And a lot of people are down on my boy White over there from San Diego. He had a couple bad games in a row, but I think last week he kind of made it up. He played a lot better last week, and in the beginning of the season he's really big. So I really think that this linebacker core as a whole, I think you might see a little Dean in there, if we start getting up early. But I still give it to you guys. You guys got better linebackers. Warner is one of the best linebackers in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? That dude's a beast. and it's gonna be hard because he's a field general, like you said. He's covering receivers. He covers tight ends. He can do whatever you need him to do. He can pass rush. He can do whatever it is need to be done in that football game. So I do give you guys the edge just off of him alone. Yeah, because I already put Reddick as a defensive lineman because that's what he does to get after the pass rusher. So
Right.
I give you guys that edge, and I would say that you guys definitely got the better linebacker core. But now let's go to the key one. Let's go secondary. And before we start the secondary, I'm gonna let you know I'm a huge diehard USC Trojan baby. I don't care what
about Huff
player goes to. I don't care what team the player goes to. I still follow him. I still watch him. I still root for him. You know what I'm saying? And Mufunga is my dude. I wanted to drop Mufunga so bad. I'm like, how he pull the trigger? He's still sitting there. Go pull the trigger. You're sleeping. Mufunga in his second year has showed you why every NFL team that didn't pick him should have picked him. He's a beast. He's
Troy Polamalu Jr.
level Troy Polamalu for real. The 2.0. You know what I'm saying? I love this guy, man. Like, he does sometimes get a little over aggressive in pass coverage, but still, like, he's first team All Pro. Isn't he a first team All Pro this year?
He's a Pro Bowler this year, not first team All Pro, but he's a Pro Bowler.
Did he make it second team All Pro?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I'll double check.
We gotta double check that.
Yeah,
I'll double check. But even Pro Bowler, you know what I'm saying? He's showing that you slept on him, and I would give you that. He is probably, one of the best safeties in the game right now. He's putting it
absolutely
down. That's where I stop at because the rest of those guys I'm not really worried about.
You said that's where you stop at.
Before I go introduce the rest of my squad. I like
what Quasi the Great said. He was right the first time. Hey, Quasi, that wasn't no typo, man. You wrote it right the first time when he said we DBs will get exposed. Y'all will get exposed this game, no doubt. Especially with Debo running at you. You're not going to want to tackle Debo. You're not going to want to tackle Juwan Jennings. But back to our secondary. Mooney Ward, I think he had one of the better seasons at cornerback this season in the regular season. Hey, in the playoffs, DK Metcalf, he's going to make some plays, man. He's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. He's going to make some guys look silly. And I think if I had to look back, we played the Seahawks 3 times this year. Mooney Ward had the best of DK in those first 2 games. And, hey, in the last game, he got beat on some plays. That's going to happen. I think Mooney Ward should be able to guard A.J. Brown. I don't think he'll have a big game. Nah, A.J. ain't going to have no big game. Mooney Ward going to be all over him. Now, Demo Lenore is the young guy in the secondary.
Yeah, right there. That's
Demo Lenore is the young guy in the secondary. Sometimes Demo gets a little handsy, but he usually is in good position. But I think, honestly, if you're going to target someone in the secondary, it's going to be Demo Lenore in coverage. But we got Jimmy Ward, who's been playing more of a nickel cornerback spot. He can, of course, play safety. He played that majority of his career. This year, he's been playing that nickel cornerback spot. So you guys have Quez Watkins, who normally plays the nickel. So honestly, I don't think that's a good matchup for Jimmy Ward, especially if Quez goes deep. I think that could be an area of opportunity for your Eagles. But I think Jimmy Ward is good in run coverage and in those short intermediate routes, but going deep, I don't think that's necessarily his specialty. Tayshaun Gibson, I mean, we picked him up this season because Jimmy Ward got hurt. Tayshaun Gibson had a fantastic season. I think he had like 4 to 5 interceptions along with Huff. So this is a ball hawking secondary. I know y'all got the Eagles, but this is a ball hawking secondary over here. We get interceptions over here. We get forced fumbles. I think in the month of December, we had 20 turnovers alone. So, hey, I think Jalen Hurts going to cough it up, whether he get hit, and then that ball come loose, or he throwing picks. I think that's gonna happen. So we'll see, but I think that's definitely gonna happen.
Now here I go. Representing.
You better slide, Jalen. You better slide.
The best secondary in the league right now. 2 of the most shut down corners in the game right now. Darius Big Play Slay, Pro Bowler. Bradbury, Pro Bowler, All Pro. CJG, Charlie Garner Johnson, leads the league at 6 interceptions. Should be in the Pro Bowl, but he was hurt. It's crazy how you can still lead the league in interception at safety and not be in a Pro Bowl because you're hurt, which is definitely a discredit. Another guy's out there with a chip on his shoulder. And then Epps, our physical little young guy that's out there like hitting people. I love what Epps do. Dude, those four right there are the best secondary in the league, hands down. There's not no one else. Don't even say no one else because these boys right here, both Pro Bowlers on the outsides, and you got CJG. And if we had Maddox, you got to be in a lot more trouble because Maddox is one of the best, slot corners in the game. But having a guy like CJG and a guy like Blankenship coming in at safety and Kayvon Wallace been playing good at safety, to cover that position while CJ go up and covers the slot corner is great for us. So, yeah, I'm giving us the edge with the secondary. Are you muted?
Sorry about that. That's fair. You can have an all-pro selection at cornerback. Your safeties are pretty good, but hopefully they can tackle. I don't know if they want to tackle Debo out in the open field. I don't know if they want to tackle CMC, one of the fastest players I've seen wearing a Niner uniform. So, hey, you want to give them the edge. That's fair. I think Mooney Ward and Huff are probably two of top 5 at their position, I think. And then you got 2 guys over there as well. So I think it's neck and neck. If you want to give them the edge in the secondary, that's fine. But I think coaching.
Wait.
Talk about special teams. Talk about coaching.
No, coaching.
Well, it's a draw. I mean, you
right
let's just say it's a draw.
Yes.
Shanahan obviously has more experience, but I'm
gonna draw the coaching with you, because Shanahan's a beast, man. The fact that you got, a 7th round guy, and you're sitting there with 12 wins, and you're in the NFC Championship with a 7th rounder. You didn't get a 3rd streamer or 4th streamer. You know what I'm saying? You got a 7th round guy, and you're in the championship game, and that's crazy. That's crazy. He's not turning over the ball. He's playing at a high level. You're scheming up plays for him that's getting people wide open. You're putting your weight on your running attack too. You know what I'm saying, with CMC and Mitchell and these guys, man. Like, and even Debo. Debo's a running back too. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't hate on Debo. And that's why with the receivers, like, Debo does bring an extra element on there. That's him. We're just giving him the ball. He's a playmaker. You know what I'm saying? He's a straight dog out there. But man. Coaching, I will split with you there.
I think Shanahan obviously has more experience. He's been in this position a lot more, so I think that could be in his favor. I don't see how it couldn't. So I think I'm tripping. I think Shanahan has the edge.
No, you said it right the first time. You had it all right the first time. I don't know where you went with that one. Like, you were right. You came out. You're like, yeah, it's split. It is split. You know why? Because Shanahan might have the experience, but he also got the experience of losing. And right now, you cannot say that about a Nick Sirianni because you're not even sure what he's going to do. Like, he's not even been in the league long enough to even know exactly what kind of coach he is. He's a good coach. He's broken records this year, but you don't even know his full potential yet. You know what Shanahan's going to bring you. He's a veteran. You know what he's going to bring you. And I think that is the element of surprise that's going to catch a lot of teams over these next couple of games here off guard. So, yeah, I'm going to say split. I'm not going to give you the edge. Because, like I said, he made it to this dance before, and he's lost the dance. So
that's the big knock on Shanahan. Can he win the big game? I mean, Atlanta, people want to blame. When was the last time you blame an offensive coordinator for a choke job? But people love to blame him instead of Dan Quinn for whatever reason. I mean, he calls the plays. The players got to execute. But, Shanahan has got a lot of experience. But, hey, you want to give it a draw? That was a mistake on my part. Shanahan definitely has more experience.
The first reaction is always the right reaction. You had it right, my guy. I was with you too. You had me with you.
I know you
right.
Yeah, I know.
Don't up. You right on that. You go and get my boys big coaching and love. You right.
That's funny. But no, I mean, I think I said that because both coaches are in conversation for Coach of the Year. So they're definitely even on that point, but I think the experience just raises Shanahan to another level. He hasn't won the big one, but he's definitely been there before. But hey, we'll see. I got a question for you though.
Let's go.
What will if the Eagles win versus the Niners? What will that look like? Like, predict a score and what will happen? Like, what 3 things have to happen for the Eagles to win versus the Niners on Sunday?
First off, we got to wake up that morning.
Okay.
I'll start out. That's been one of my 3 because if we wake up that morning, I feel like it's going to be a beautiful day in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do our thing. Second off, we got to protect Jalen, and we got to play mistake-free football in that. On offense and defense. You can't have the penalties. We can't have, plays getting called back because of BS penalties. These guys not being focused. We got to be laser sharp focused, and we got to take the football away. You know what I'm saying? We got to make Brock Purdy realize that he is Mr. Irrelevant for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get this boy on the ground ASAP. Because you guys have a lot of weapons out there. Debo, CMC, Mitchell, IU, Kiddo. Like, that's a lot of weapons, And if you give this boy time, he will find them, and then that's where it's going to be a real problem. You know what I'm saying? That's where if he starts getting rolling, any guy, it doesn't matter whether you were undrafted or a first-round pick. Once you start feeling the game, you start getting hot, it's hard to stop. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get to these boys early and often. We got to get some turnovers over there. But other than that, like I said, like I feel like we should win this game, and we are a more talented team. There's key position, like the quarterback position, probably really the biggest nail breaker out of them all. We got to have an MVP candidate. You guys, got Mr. Irrelevant who haven't lost, but it's time to put on the big boy pants. How you guys gonna feel in the cold weather of Philly? You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are a West Coast team. You got to go against the wind conditions and the coldness of Philadelphia.
It ain't gonna be raining or snowing.
With the crowd going crazy, one of the best crowds in the league, going crazy. So it's going to be very hard for him to call plays. It's going to be hard for him to adjust plays. And it's going to be hard for him to get away from all the guys that are going to be coming to take his head off every single play, from Reddit to Sweat to Cox to Hargraves to Davis to Sue, Joseph, BG. Like, there's a lot of boys coming. And hopefully you can handle the pressure. So, you know what I'm saying?
We played where it's cold before, and we won in playoff atmospheres like Green Bay last year. So we've done it before. But yeah, Philly could increase, especially with the crowd noise and all that. And I know it's gonna be crazy out there in Philly, but like exactly. Like this guy says, what's good with you, this guy? But Queasy the Great, so disrespectful. 34-16. Come on, man. What's your score prediction? Birdgang?
I don't think that's very disrespectful. Okay. I'm gonna give you two score predictions, right?
Okay.
My first one is the Eagles go out there and they're playing Eagle football, period. They're not making the mistakes. They're playing at a high level like they're supposed to play. It's gonna be a tight game early, but I still think the Eagles win 42-17. Like, wow. Like, we're that much better because
that's where everything goes right for the Eagles.
Okay, that's everything going right. Now let's say, Hurts kind of looks suspect early. We can't get anything started because that defense is lighting us up. You know what I'm saying? Your defense is playing immaculate, keeping guys like A.J. Brown and all those guys from getting receptions. Okay, a tight game. I'm going to say 28-21 Eagles. We win from a touchdown in the game. Both ways, Eagle win. But, if everything's just a nice sunny day in Philadelphia, like we go out there and handle our business, it's going to be a blowout. Because I don't really think no team. There's no disrespect to your team. Like I've been saying all year long, it's not so much a disrespect from the team we're playing. It's just the confidence and the level of the players that we got. You look back at it, the history of the NFL showed you who wins the Super Bowl early. You know what I'm saying? Last year, you knew the Rams were going to win the Super Bowl because of all the good players he had. The year before, you knew Tampa Bay was going to win the Super Bowl from all the players they added to their team. And we went out there and did it this year, and I think you should know the Eagles will be winning the Super Bowl this year. So, those are my two score predictions. So, would I be like, oh, my God, just heartbroken? I will be heartbroken, but would I be like, oh, we lost, man. Like, you guys are a great team. And, any given Sunday, your team can lose. So, but I'm not sticking to that. I'm going off of sure confidence, and that's
I respect your prediction, but let me just lay out a few facts. So, since our winning streak, I don't know, y'all Eagles fans know we won 12 straight games. We've only allowed 30 points twice. That's to KC and that's to the Raiders. So I don't think y'all gonna score over 30.
You know who else did that too? You know who else did that?
Who?
The Cowgirls. When they had Rush and they won 5 straight in a row and they wasn't giving up over 17 points. That's what we do.
Yeah, but we all know that we know the Cowboys are frauds. Everyone in the NFL, every fan base knows that the Cowboys are frauds. Dak doesn't play great against upper echelon talent, which we saw last week. Those 2 interceptions were ridiculous. So we know that the Cowboys are fraud. But I'm looking at y'all's schedule. Who y'all played? Y'all ain't played nobody in the month of December.
We're talking about for one, before you go there, because I know you're used to this, my guy. You used to be in the best division in football, right? You used to Seattle being great, the Cardinals being great, the Niners being great. This year, you guys are one of the worst, or middle of the pack. We were the best division. We should have 4 teams in the playoffs this year. We were the best division. We had the highest division. So the fact that we beat up on our own team, we're the best division in football. So of course.
Also, speaking of divisions, the 49ers were undefeated in our division. We 6-0. Beat the Seahawks in the playoff. That made us 7-0. We haven't done that since 97. So it has been a while. Yeah, you're right, Quezzy. We do struggle with mobile quarterbacks, and that's why I say, let me get to my keys to the victory for the 49ers, which I do think, of course, we're going to win this game. I mean, we ain't worried about Philly. We ain't worried about what's good. 246. How you doing, man? What's good? Hey, but that's going to be one of the keys.
If you're talking like a team that's at home here.
Y'all
got a team that had the best record in football.
I'm supremely confident. Hey, y'all had a great season. There's no doubt. But in the playoffs, you got to take it up a notch. Y'all looked good last week against the Giants, but that was part of my point.
With the Cowgirls.
Y'all ain't played nobody in December. Y'all ain't played nobody. Y'all can only play on your schedule. I get it, but y'all haven't played.
Y'all play. Like when I looked at y'all's schedule, the only pass rushers y'all played that was anything worth a damn was probably Washington. They're trash.
Washington got a good front.
They got the front, but they're trash.
Got a good front. Now, let me looking at our schedule. I mean, the Raiders, they were playing inspired football, man. Hey, they was at home in Vegas, man. They was playing inspired football. So, hey, that was a close game. And you had Brock Purdy, Mr. Relevant, go up against Tom Brady, and we beat them by 4 touchdowns, man. I mean, come on, man. We beat the Dolphins. Hey, the Dolphins ain't been the same since. You know it. You seen it. Dolphins ain't been the same since they came up to Santa Clara, and we beat the brakes off of them by multiple touchdowns. Hey, we beat the Chargers. They got a talented squad. We know they always one of the more talented teams in the NFL. So those are a few victories that we had. But I just think y'all ain't played nobody.
Giants who made it to divisional round, Cowgirls who made it to divisional round. Who made it to divisional round. We're talking about 3 teams that made it to divisional round. That we mollywopped. We beat the brakes off of Minnesota. We beat the brakes off of the Cowboys the first game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We beat the brakes off the Giants 3 times this year. Just like you guys did Seattle 3 times.
I think, for the 49ers to win, we got to
Green Bay Packers. Boom.
The Packers, they ain't nothing this year. We know that. But look, here's what I see happening. You said what you thought would happen, that the Eagles would beat the Niners. You said, your ridiculous score. I get that. Hey, for the 49ers to beat the Eagles, we got to contain Hurts. Can't let him get out the pocket. Can't let him scramble. That's obviously going to be a difficult task. But, that's one thing we have to do. Obviously, the same thing as you said. Win the turnover battle. Don't have tons of penalties. But I think Shanahan's going to have to be in this bag, because I think this will be a defensive game. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. But Shanahan's going to have to negate the pass rush. And like I said before, earlier on the show, we play Aaron Donald. Hey, generational type defensive lineman, right? He usually doesn't have big games against us because we're able to negate his pass rush. Hey, we run away from him. We run screens. We throw quick slants. We get rid of the ball quickly. And that's one thing we're going to have to do against his pass rush. So it's Shanahan, play button-up football and contain Hurts. I already know what this defense is going to do. It's going to do what it did the entire year, which was be the number 1 defense in the NFL. So I ain't really worried about the Eagles offense. I think we'll be just fine.
Listen,
but here's my prediction. I think the Niners are going to win. I'm going to say 17-13.
Wow.
That's what I got. It's going to be a defensive battle.
You think the Eagles are only going to score 13 points?
Yeah.
Really?
I'll say y'all might score 20, but there ain't no way in hell y'all scoring 30.
That's we're the number 1 offense in the league, my guy. You act like we one of these other teams you done played all year. Y'all ain't even seen this team. No talent like this team got this year.
You ain't seen the defensive coordinator like D'Amico Ryan.
We play it every single week. Our defense is 15 yards worse than you guys. We have more sacks than you guys. We have many takeovers.
So it won't be a high-scoring game. I just don't think so.
15-yard difference that made you guys number 1 over us, and that's because early in the season, our run defense was suspect. And after we got Limbaugh, Joseph, and Dominican Sue, that shored up real quick. So,
We'll see what they do against CMC and
oh
Elijah.
man, you know, and you guys,
y'all might get 20 points, maybe, but I think we'll have the fine. We'll be up at the end of the game. I think y'all might get 20. Y'all might. Maybe if here's what I think. If the Eagles win, I would say they force Brock Purdy to throw interceptions. I think honestly that's the only way, because he's been pretty clean. Like he's only got I think like 3 interceptions, at least 13 touchdowns. So his TD INT ratio is excellent. He's not turnover Jimmy G. He's gone, right? So, you know, Brock Purdy, I think he takes care of the ball. But I think if you guys also win, the only way Brock Purdy throws interceptions, or if you guys are able to run the ball effectively against us, which most teams haven't against us. So,
like, you know, and even with that, like you think about the likes of Derrick Henry, you know, Taylor, Saquon Barkley 3 times. Like we done stopped the best running backs in the game all year. Like that's one thing with our team that I think a lot of people don't realize. It's the nobodies, which that is my biggest fear. It's the nobodies that do good against us. So Brock Purdy being a nobody, you know, he's not an upper echelon quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback. So it's the nobodies I feel like that do big against us. But if you're a star football player, and this goes to Deebo Samuels, this goes to CMC, we clamp your ass down, period. Like not one star has lit us up all year long, and this is a whole 17-game season, you know what I'm saying, plus a playoff. Not one star has lit us up, and I don't see that happening, you know, because we got the talent on this roster to clamp down everybody and anybody.
Hey, all I got to say is on Sunday, y'all better tuck y'all chains. Deebo Samuel is coming for you. You may want to hit him on the first offensive drive, but once you get down to the third and fourth quarter, it's
how is that, though? I heard that
30 degree.
Deebo, a couple of them boys over there were hurt. What kind of injury report can you give us over there?
So, you know, CMC, you know, he a little nicked up, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, who ain't nicked up at the end of the year? So CMC, he's got a little calf issue. Just a little bit, just a minor calf issue. He's listed as day-to-day. Elijah Mitchell, also our other running back, he got a growing injury, but they're all expected to play. But that's why I think this is going to be a Deebo Samuel game. This is going to be one of his games that he had from last year where he's catching the ball, he's running the ball, he's trucking people. I mean, I don't think you guys, y'all ain't seen a Deebo Samuel player. Y'all ain't played against a Deebo Samuel player. I know y'all played against Saquon and Derrick Henry and all that. But look at the best receivers in the game.
Yeah, we played against them.
Y'all ain't got nobody that can guard Kittle, man. Kittle has his career.
Nothing. We done shut down tight ends all year long. What are you talking about?
Shut down Kittle. You ain't shut down the plethora of talent.
We have Goddard that we practice against.
Tennessee, who else do they have besides Derrick Henry? Who else do Tennessee Titans have besides Derrick Henry that you have to stop? They got the young receiver they drafted. He's okay, right? And then you talk about the Giants. Their best receiver was Richie James, a guy that we cut 2 years ago. So.
They're running back. They're running back now. They just want to bring up the Giants. They're running back. Where's that at, man? Man, you tripping off that?
The amount of weapons we got, y'all defense, y'all heads gonna
right
be
there, right next to your boy. Look at the left boy. Saquon Barkley balled out this year. We beat him 3 times.
Hey, I gotta say, what's good to Bay Area Baller 18? I hope you're doing well. Hey, man, all I gotta say is you can only key on a certain amount of guys. The Eagles have not seen this amount of playmakers. Y'all Eagles fans, content creators, y'all gonna find out on Sunday.
Right there.
We got playmakers, man.
Lockdown. Not doing nothing right there. You asked, and the chat answered your question. Who will lock down Kittle? And that's what we're gonna do, like we did against every other tight end this year. Lock him down. But it's gonna be a great game. I'm excited. I know you feel the energy. You know, you guys did beat us last year. I'll give you all that. You know what I'm saying? That was a young baby Eagle team. You know what I'm saying? They were just learning how to flap their wings. But now I'm telling you, we are in full flap, baby, full stride, playing like we played when we were 13-0, my guy. So you got to recognize the game when you see there is levels to this shit here of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, y'all gonna see us
right here at the top, my guy. Any other team you're trying to climb, you're trying to wish, you know, we took the best from everybody all year long and we beat ourselves. No other team was better than us all year. We beat ourselves 3 times, doing things were uncharacteristic. You know, we didn't have our leader in the game for 2 games that our backup played like absolutely trash. And while we lost those games, So now we got our squad together. We're about to lay it, smack it down on San Francisco this Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, all my people in Cali on Facebook, especially all you. I know I see the Facebook likes up there. I see you guys there. I know you guys are in here. I love you guys, but it's time for your team to go home. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had a great season. Don't take it the wrong way when we do what we got to do. Just look at it as being, logic. When you got the best team, the best roster, you're putting out the best production on the football field. That's what happens. You win.
It's gonna be a close game. It ain't gonna be no blowout.
It's gonna be a close game. Like I said,
So you think it's gonna be a blowout?
Sloppy. We play sloppy. It's gonna be a close game.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know why? It's just same thing. Ask Michael Parsons. You guys got Bosa, right? Ask Michael Parsons what he did against us. Both games. Not a damn thing. Because you need more people. We got the best offensive line in football. It takes more than one to get after the quarterback. So you can have Micah. You can have Bosa. You can have Greenlaw. That's three, but we still got three other linemen on that roster that can lock shit down and protect Jalen Hurts. And that's what happens. The teams are good, and even close games, they're good. They're just not good enough to put it away because we're just too good, man. We're too talented, man. Jalen's going to be
in the same way you feel about the offensive line being able to work as a unit and blocking. You're going to need more than one pass rusher. The same way I feel about the Niners offense and our playmakers. And yeah, y'all got talent. Y'all,
you got 7 or 8 pass rushers. What are you talking about? All those bulls can get sacks.
Hey, y'all, like I said, man, y'all ain't gonna have no more than 1, 2, 3 sacks. Like I said,
let's put a wager.
Y'all ain't gonna have no more than 3.
The wager don't even have to be no money like that. You know what I'm saying? If we get more than, I would even say if we get more than 4 sacks, just to put one on top of yours.
One a quarter. I don't think that's gonna happen.
If we get more than 4 sacks, you need to come back on the stream after you guys lost and wear some kind of Eagles memorabilia.
Hey, they don't sell that down in Cali, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm from Cali. They got Eagles. I had a nice Eagles wardrobe in Cali.
They don't sell that.
You go to get something. You go get you an Eagles towel or something. You go get you whatever. Go print out something and put it on your chest. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care. But I want to say, I think you're tripping on the 3 sacks. That is very disrespectful. Saying that the league's #1 sack team ain't gonna get 3 sacks, and you only got one off the lineman. That's scary.
That's why it's going to be up to Shanahan to negate the sack. It's going to be up to the knowledge of Shanahan. What's good, Andre? He's
only a bad neighborhood.
It's going to be up to Shanahan to be in his bag, and I think that could be one of the reasons why we win. I like the coaching advantage. I know I mistakenly said it's a draw just because, hey, both guys coaching here, but Shanahan, come on, man. There's an experience there, man, and you can't. It's hard to quantify that. It's hard to measure that, but there's no doubt, man. We'll see on Sunday. How about that? We're
gonna see on Sunday. Hey, man, shout out to you. Hey, if you're on either channel, man, we are definitely live on Jay and the Bay's channel. Make sure you go hit that like, go hit that subscribe if you're an Eagles fan. You know what I'm saying? We represent all the great content creators out here. We always show our support and love for just being good at what you are. Just because we don't like the same team don't mean we don't put out good content. Go hit that sub. All links are inside the chat and inside both descriptions. So make sure after the show you go show some love over there. And if you're on Jay and the Bay channel, come up to Birdgang 31 on the road to 10K. Let's get me there. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like. I get a little, I'm a confident content creator, especially when you got a team like this. It's really hard not to be confident. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a very confident Eagle, but I do still talk facts. I will still bring you the reasons why, and they're pretty logical reasons if you really think about them. So make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, and let's get it going, man. Hey, shout out to you for coming on. Let everybody know what other platform they can find you at.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Hey, always appreciate the invite. Always love coming on to the Birdgang Network, man. You do it all, not only sports, but everything that you do, man. I appreciate the invite, of course. Huge shout out to everyone in the chat. It was a lit chat today from both fan bases, so it's always fun to come on here. We talk facts. We talk a little bit of trash. We keep it respectful, though. And, man, I can't wait till Sunday. You can find me at YouTube, IG, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok under Jay in the Bay. And of course, I talk everything. Y'all see the background. Y'all see the Fred Warner jersey. Y'all see it. First team All-Pro Fred. He gonna be making all types of plays on Sunday. But yeah, man. Hey, appreciate you having me on. Hey, I hope both teams are healthy at the end of the day. We can shake hands. Hey, the best team will win on Sunday.
And the best team will win for sure. and that will be the Eagles. But made the best team win. You know, like, and I'm not even going to be mad. Like, I like to talk it up. I like to hype it up and tell you straight up that I think we the best. And we're going to nominate and blow you guys out. Shout out to Z in the building. Thanks for stopping by, girl. But at the end of the day, if it's a close game, I don't care if we win by 1 point. You know what I'm saying? We cannot let this ride over, Eagle. The ride cannot be over. It's been a hell of a season, and it's time to put the stamp. We got a leader. We got the best player in football, and Jalen freaking Hurts. And he's going to show you why he's going to get that Brinks truck this offseason. And Philadelphia going to have to pay him.
Hey, I don't care what he do this offseason. He can get the big truck, but he's going to be making vacation plans after this game. That's what I'm talking about.
We shall see. Fly, Eagles, fly. Until next time, this BG, Jay in the Bay. We out.
I'll let you later. Peace.